Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside a rub and cheat, and not press the floor. Make up what I seen to make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red, I. How they want to see, they didn't can sell out Rasta, and sell it out, I sell out Babylon. Big man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see, they didn't can sell out Rasta, and sell out, I sell out Babylon. Yes, stop on the right. You must throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing, you must throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Good evening and welcome to Global TV. It is Sunday, the 7th of September. Lord God, TikTok, I want to know, what kind of violation this TikTok? Me just say good evening and TikTok give me a 10-minute violation. I mean, good evening, it's against the rules now, TikTok. How you nimby is so? Anyway, never mind she. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Global TV. It is election fraud, isn't it? More and more people are coming forward. This is election fraud. Lots of things happened that really should not have happened. The rules were violated by the Electoral Commission, as well as we know the Prime Minister and his MPs bought vote around the country. They stole ballot box. They disturbed polling station. Of course, this wasn't a free and fair election. Who, though, will investigate? And if they do, will it be a meaningful and a thorough investigation? The broader question is, should this election be null and void so the people of Jamaica can get to have a fair shot once more? Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. Welcome to the People's Point of View. Lovely to have you here. We're going to look at a few things this evening. Carl Stewart, good evening and welcome. Marcia Thomas, good evening, good evening. Welcome, Desroy Stanley, Beverly, Sharon Bernard, Gloria Morris, David Jervis, Steve V, Real Sweet, RJ, Ethna Parchment, good evening, Ladybug, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Who else is in the house? Bear with. Good evening and welcome. Colleen Stewart, good evening. Joan Pine, good evening. Janice Lewis, good evening. Carl Wilson, Kate M. Good evening. Barbara Simpson, Joan Bailey, Yvonne Johnson, Hopewell Nelson, good evening. Norman Ferguson, Yvonne Johnson, good evening. Amanda Gale, good evening. Let me take my time, scroll through. Carlene Richards, Althea, good evening. Villa One, good evening. Good evening. Gloria Morris, good evening. Kate Matthews, Carl Roberts, good evening. Is it Mitzi Scott? Good evening. The first name tied me tongue, Monica Harton, Amanda Gale, good evening. Who else there? Good evening, everybody. Marcia B. Rowe, good evening. To the Cockpit Country, Vincent Dinham, good evening. Good evening. Charnel Williams, good evening. Joan Bailey. Who else have I seen? Keith Salmon, good evening. Uriel Dorma, good evening. Good evening, everybody. TikTok, good evening. Even though I'm being shadow banned over here because I be a violation officer, how did them violate me? User 48, Cranberry, Maxwell, Sharon, Debs. Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Who we start on this evening? Should we start with the potato thief, Cleveland Bygrave? Good evening. Should we start with the potato thief this evening? Or let us look at our slide first. Because I was waiting on Cafe to say something. They indeed have major concerns as well. But in the Gleaner's editorial this morning, they have an article titled Reset House Committees. So they are looking forward with the strong arm PNP team that is going to Parliament. Then all the botch job, because Andrew Holness is really in problem, you know. He's not happy even though they have won so-called the election, so-called. They are not happy because they know there is an awful lot ahead to come that they don't want to deal with. So like, you know, the Prime Minister did mess up how the committees in Parliament work and pass them rather than being chaired by the opposition. The Prime Minister gave it all to his cronies. So that is something that the Gleaner editorial is looking at having a rebalance on, where those committees are being chaired, Zeets, how you do, are being chaired by a member of the opposition, or at least backbench Labour MPs. But more realistically, the opposition. So we hope things like that will be addressed. We know that he cannot come back with Gillette Holness as the, as the Speaker of the House, because certainly the People's National Party have enough numbers to vote that down at the moment. So it'd be interested to see the choice that the Prime Minister is coming with. Another concern, again, raised by the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, and Emily Shields raised this concern on Wednesday night, gone as well during the tallying of the polls, where this over-bloated voters list, Isilda Williams, where 3 million of us, as we are being told, but you have over 2 million eligible voters on the list. So among all the failures that Gospel Brown presents us in this election is also a fraudulent, or in a lot of ways outdated voters list that we are working with. So we're looking for these things to be redressed soon, not by Gospel, because we demand his stepping aside, but then again, Andrew Holness still have oversight, Millie McBean, oversight of the Electoral Commission, which is a danger, Arlene Scott, to the organization independency. The opposition has a lot of work to do, because now that they have the strength, Jacqueline Lawrence, now that they have the strength and the numbers, we are going to expect them to, one, listen to us, listen to the concerns that we have, People's National Party, and deal with those concerns robustly. Otherwise, we are not going to fall out. Don't want we to fall out over what yonder. So these are some of the things we expect them to make sure them, even if we walk out of Parliament and decide not to sit in them until these things are addressed. But those are the major concerns. If you are all listening to us, you can see or hear the concerns that we have when it comes to matters of our election. We did have them before, Julie Roberts, but especially after this rickety-tickety election we had. 1, 2, 3, God bless, Wagwan. These matters must be addressed because we cannot go into another election. When the Labour right, them keep reporting my page for. We cannot go into another election with these frauds continue going on and the same people carrying out the fraud in charge of the system. Sorry, my nose abundant me. So we just cannot. So a whole heap of people have concern, Andrew Holness. So this election fraud, we're not going to let go of it. We're going to continue to highlight and call out the areas where we see as major concern, such as Andrew Holness and Juliet turning up at polling station, causing major disruption, preventing people from exercising their democratic participation. We also see where the Electoral Commission, we can almost say, on orders from Andrew Holness, who has oversight of the Electoral Commission, to prevent people who are in the queue by 5 p.m. from voting. All these are violations of the Representation of the People's Act. But we're going to listen to Lassam Riley. We're going to listen to Dean Jackson on YouTube. Then we come back on the other side. Because, you know, we don't listen to Dean Jackson on TV, Jay. We don't go listen to the one with it on YouTube. Because, you know, there are two different Dean Jackson Miller. So we prefer listening to the one where have a little more independence than the one who have to toe the line of their broadcaster. Let's listen this 10 minutes and then we come back.
Good showing, but they ultimately lost the 2025 general election. So what happens now? I'm Deon Jackson Miller. Thanks so much for joining me. Time for tea.
And listen well, people, because this is serious. As a country, we're gonna have to demand more.
So at this point, the PNP has 28 seats. That's because the Central Kingston seat that had initially, after the preliminary count, it had been called for the PNP Steve McGregor. It's now been called for the JLP's Donovan Williams after the final count. So this is 4 seats short of the 32 seats that the PNP needed to win the general election. But is way better than the 14 seats they won in 2020. At the time of this video, the PNP had sent out a statement a few hours before expressing concern about what they called widespread reports of vote buying and voter suppression in the recent election. They spoke about long delays for voters at so many polling stations and the refusal to allow persons in line at 5 p.m. to vote, and said those are cause for concern. Let me stick a pin here to say that Jamaica's local election watchdog group, CAFE, Citizens Action for Free and Fair Elections, had put out a statement after the election. And there is this concern. They said in most cases there weren't any major problems, but they did say one thing that I found alarming. They said in 21% of the polling stations reporting, meaning where they had CAFE observers, they said persons in line at the close of poll at 5 p.m. were not allowed to vote. They said on the surface, this is against the law, but they said they'll need to investigate each case individually to establish whether there was a breach. Now, this I find alarming. And yes, we wait for the final determination, but just the mere fact that CAFE observers are saying people are in the line at 5 p.m. and not allowed to vote is serious, right?
Mix baking soda with warm water in the bathroom and watch your friend get swollen with 3 extra inches in less than...
Everybody know, if I want thing you know, is that when 5 o'clock come, if you're in the line, you have to be allowed to vote. The Representation of the People Act, ROPA, says this, right? I asked the Director of Elections about this in an interview I did on my radio program, Beyond the Headlines, after the election. He says it's something they're going to be looking into. We cannot allow this to drop. We can't drop this. This is serious. This is concerning. This has to be explained by the Electoral Office. Now, the PNP went on to say that while they respect the will of the voters, they said they can't ignore the corrosive effects of these illegal and immoral actions on public trust in the electoral process. And they said they're calling on the Electoral Commission, law enforcement, and civil society to deal with this, to take steps, they said, to confront and eradicate these practices. Now, there's another development, which is that Paul Buchanan, the PNP candidate who ran against Prime Minister Andrew Holness, says he's challenging the results. He's alleging irregularities in PNP stronghold polling stations. He claims there was a, quote, strange removal of several boxes. He says he's gathering evidence. He says he'll report the matter officially to the Electoral Office within a week. So we're tracking all of that and we'll update you on that. So what happens now? First of all, I'm expecting this parliament to be fiery. Just look at some of the people the opposition will have in the lower house, all right? You have Dr. Alfred Dawes. Now, he's going to be a first timer in parliament in the lower house now for the first time. But as opposition spokesperson on health, even not being in parliament, he's already shown us the kind of representation we can expect. He's shown us the kind of tenacity he's capable of in the way he's been pursuing and holding on to these concerns he's been raising about a neurosurgical drill that was bought by the Southeast Regional Health Authority. If you have been following, he says it was bought for over 30 million, when in reality it only costs about 3 million. He's been raising concerns about use of public money. He's been raising concerns about procurement practices, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing him continue to do that in Parliament. Dr. Dayton Campbell, PNP GenSec, he's going to be back in the lower house. And as former opposition spokesperson for health, he was always on the government's case with problems in the health sector. He always had inside information about what was going on. We used to hear stuff from him, certainly before we heard from government, and we can expect him as well to dip on the government. Peter Bunting, back in the lower house as well. Former Minister of National Security, former leader of opposition business in the Senate, always informed, always prepared, always worth listening to. Damian Crawford, back in the lower house, known for his speaking skills, although, you know, he can go overboard sometime and get himself in trouble, but I do expect him to add to this parliament. Isaac Buchanan, attorney at law, best known for his representation of dancehall star Vibes Cartel, but I think we can expect to see him wanting to make his mark in Garden House as well, so watch out and listen out for him. Now, they're going to be joining Julian Robinson, who returns as opposition spokesman on finance. He helped to carry a whole heap of the work of the opposition on his back in the last parliament. His analysis, always incisive, always sharp. His performance in the economy debate made a whole heap of people sit up and really look at him differently for the first time. But parliament watchers will tell you Robinson has always been on top of his game. There are some other newcomers I'm hoping we're going to be hearing from. I'm hoping they're going to be stepping up, making their voices heard as well, and adding to a very strong opposition bench. Point, though, is that opposition leader Mark Golding is going to have a much strengthened bench. He's going to have a lot more support in taking on the government on critical issues. Every now and then, you know, I get calls from listeners to my radio program Beyond the Headlines that airs on Radio Jamaica. Boy, why the opposition them stay so? They always oppose. Why they can't agree with the government? Why they can't support the government? And I say to them this, that I'm going to say here. The opposition's role is to keep the government in check. They're an important part of our mechanism of checks and balances in this government system that we have to make sure the government is behaving and to call them out when they're not. Now, are there times when cooperation is needed? Absolutely, obviously, but don't cuss them off for doing their job. All right, so having said all of that, now what about Mark Golding himself? Now, first of all, remember where he's taken the PNP from 14 seats in a JLP landslide victory in 2020 to now 28 seats and within arm's length of having won this election. Also, the PNP put up a really good performance in the 2024 local government elections. There's no question that Golding has performed well. There's no question that he's deserved to stay in place as leader.
Hi, I'm Abby Shorrock, Subject Lead for Geography at Propello. I'm here to show you Propello's highly engaging geography results.
But should he step aside anyway? Now, to a large extent, this is going to be dependent on him. Golding and his team are obviously hugely disappointed about what happened here, right? They nearly win. And during a lot of the campaign, they were leading in the polls. It looked like they were getting a whole heap of traction, and it looked as if they could have won. So I know they're upset, and know they're disappointed. So they're going to be out of bush again during this parliamentary term, and it could be a long time till the next election, which is due in 2030. Even saying it sounds far, right? A whole nother decade now. We're talking about the 30s. They like to say a day is a long time in politics. So 5 years must be an eternity. JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang told me in a radio interview that he doesn't plan to continue as General Secretary and lead the party in any more elections. He also says he plans to step down as MP during this term. He said, boy, he have no intention of nobody wheeling him out in a wheelchair. He wants to go while he can still enjoy summer in life. Prime Minister Holness has also spoken about renewing the Jamaica Labour Party. So I think what we're likely to see during this term is some of the older government MPs step down and by-elections held to freshen up the government benches. I said in my video, what now for the JLP, that we could see Holness himself step down and have a new JLP leader brought in. If that happens, the PNP would likely now be facing a new look JLP. So it's Golding up to that task. He could be, but he needs to be all in. Now, Golding has grown significantly on the Jamaican people since he first became leader of the opposition in 2020. We've seen his favorability rise significantly over the 5-year period. But remember, he's up against Holness, whose unfavorability ratings have been very high. Now, if the JLP gets a new leader who is more popular, it might be a whole different story. Golding is now 60. So how would he match up against a younger and probably more popular JLP leader? That's one of the questions you have to think about, one of the questions he has to think about. I know there are lots and lots of ifs here because we're looking into the future, projecting into the future, what may happen.
Well, we can stop thus far. Let's address certain issues. I'm wondering if it is going to be said now that CAFE is a PNP organization, because what they have monitored across the country on Wednesday, at least 21% of our polling station, the law was violated to prevent people from voting. Those who were in the line, who were prevented from voting, we need an investigation. Who do we complain to when Andrew Holness is the oversight of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, of the Electoral Commission, of the political ombudsman? Who do we complain to when those are the same people who stole the election, who carried out fraud on our democracy? So nothing about this election the people of Jamaica should accept. Now, in relation to, a lot of people are saying we should get international investigator. This is a domestic issue. What would rather happen, I don't know if they had any during this election, but sometime you have international observers that observe the election. Never mind the CARICOM people them where them look like them in a Andrew Handmiggle. If you have international observers like from the EU, from Britain, Canada, Europe, America, so on, after the election, what those people would do is make a pronouncement on whether the election was fair or not. But whatever investigation is to be done, it have to be done domestically, because it's Jamaica law that was violated, both with the labor rights. Go on for the platform and stop reporting the platform. There's no reason for you to sit down over here being irritated. Go on. Don't tap off of people yard too much. So we need to make sure all of these things with the pan, because we cannot allow a government to control all of the agencies where we keep the government in check. We cannot do that. There's a lot of vote buying across the country. Maybe we're going to name individual MP right out, but Dalrymple, Floyd Green, to name a few. All of these were crimes in order to hijack our election, preventing those who were in the line from voting. Crimes were committed by the Jamaica Labour Party and the Electoral Commission of Jamaica in order to give the election to Andrew Holness. We saw Juliet Holness and Andrew Holness' behavior on election day. I know, Jim, we're dreaming, you know. We see it. It's still on video. The election observers are saying, even though with salt in their mouth, there were irregularities by the preventing of Jamaicans from exercise their democracy. So the Holness-led regime carried out a rafter of fraud and illegalities on us from last Friday to Wednesday in order to steal this election. We saw what they did to the security services. I know we are complaining about it at them first, and the security services came out and complained about their name being crisscross all over the place. Some from Montego Bay have to go to Kingston and all sorts in order to exercise their democracy. We saw where the Minister of National Security declared a bomb threat across the country. And to date, them can't give away any more information other than taking up the police them time and the security service time on Friday. That's the only purpose the bomb threat served, because Labour expected to have a message sent from them. Now, let us look at something that we have heard before, and we're hearing it again. So that's why we know it's nothing strange, because it was said in plain sight at the end of the local government election. And it has been said now. But let me say this before we play the video. Labor rights. Labor rights.
Listen.
The last person labor rights we're not going to play with when it comes to the law and gets away with it is Isaac Buchanan. The last person we are going to play with when it comes to the law and gets away with it is Isaac Buchanan. So no matter what we have up on our sleeve, one by one, Uno will be going to jail.
But listen, I want you to listen to this and tell me safe as I go. Because where she get her information from? When me hear it, me say, hold up, wait a doggone minute. As I go, because to all she did, it look like she knows. Me say, I want you to listen to this and come back and make we talk about it. I sat now get no money for spend. You don't understand that. And Miss Vaza go run everything same way because she says she go to the road and she go to the urban center same way. Only thing she not in and post, but she go get the prime minister and go give her the money to run things same way to do everything. Although she not in, and she go do the work them same way where they start. Cause she not left them. She says she not left nothing. So no worry on herself, man. I saw the works go. And he have him boss behind him, Mr. Vaz. So no worry on herself over nothing. We could see him here. We prime minister in a power, so we have it talk.
So it's a continuous plan to hijack democracy. I start to not play with when it comes to this, you know. This is not any old fenke when it comes to the law. Isaac Buchanan is one of the most versed when it comes to our constitution. So you all may be just digging a hole for yourselves. Because we heard Everett Warmington made the same threat after the local government election that Dr. Kurt Walt won't be spending any of his money. But constituency development fund is not disbursed to caretaker MP, which Anvaz has now become. So this is something we're going to watch closely because we know ISAT ain't going to be quiet by anyone or on anything. So maybe Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party just have something up their sleeve coming. Because I know, so when it comes to the law, ISAT knows how to use it, especially when it comes to our constitution, when it comes to human rights. He knows how to use it. So good luck, Labour. Good luck with your continuous plan to turn this country into a Jamaica Labour Party regime. Because uno lose, uno say uno winning. But even the seat them uno lose, uno don't want to give up. Cry me a river. Carlos, do a video. What me have to bring to Cry me a river. But it is reality. It is the reality. And this is why, you know, Jamaica people are so confused. Because it would be utter confusion to be pulling down Mark Golding's collar, while on the other hand, you're pushing up Anne-Marie Vaz's collar. Have you ever met a more confused nation than the people of Jamaica? Or have you ever met a more licky, wanga got, love your belly, tap off a people yard than Jamaica people? Because this is half a licky, as me told you yesterday. Jamaicans, leave the old white people, them shit alone. You can't have so much problem with Mark Golding and a queue up to get visa to go clean old white people shit. Them are Mark Golding related. When you look upon them, you should have seen Mark Golding turn up in front of you. But let's listen to Carlos, because Carlos said it very well.
Wagwan family, what a gwan. Me Jamaican people no come here. Some of us are all hypocrite, you know. Some of no. No, look how no go on for Mark Golding. Cause I'm a white man. And look how no go on for white woman. Or nobody not bad for Michelle Charles. How me no see no Crimea River Michelle Charles campaign on social media? How come I no see that? I've seen so many videos after videos after videos of Uno house Negroes. Huh? Lord, me can't even believe. Look at people. Look at Michelle Charles. She take pictures with the road in the background too. Yeah, check out her page. She got a bunch of videos up there too. What? She not dancing good enough. She need to dance more. Eh? She need to hypnotize you with her dance more. People, what make as Jamaicans, we hate each other so? What make? Is it because of Michelle Charles' complexion? We don't see.
Do you understand why so much Jamaicans bleach? Why so much Jamaicans are uncomfortable in their black skin? We may have to start tell the whole of them now so they look like a man golden because the labor right them bleach out bad, you know. Especially the labor right man them, the labor right young boy them. Bleach out bad. Maybe we have to start tell them so they favor man golden and they may stop bleach. But we will never, as a people, come to our senses as long as we always keep looking on people as our superior. Because this is how Anvaz is being treated by the docile of Jamaica. Because it's not the docile of East Portland, you know. East Portland people did what they should have done in getting rid of her. Send her into retirement. Send her back, go plat. Anvaz them figure plat basket. Come in, think she equipped enough filler and how to do crochet. Me not think Anvaz modern enough to learn how to do crochet. So Anvaz to send back go plat basket. But this is the mindset of the Jamaican people. Jesus is white. I have no white God. No teach me anything mad. Could your white God save me from white men oppression? I have no white God. It's just a black messiah. If your white God are bless, him will bless black people too, isn't it? If there's a black race that is lost, count Jamaica in. If there's a country of lost black people, count Jamaica in.
Crimea River Michelle Charles campaign. Talk to me, people. There is a Crimea River and Vaz campaign right now on social media. People who don't live in a Portland are putting their 1-2, are getting involved in a Portland people business and them don't even go to Portland. They don't even know which parish Portland is in. Yes, which parish Portland is in. See? And Michelle Charles there, so we take picture before asphalt and all kind of something and roll up. She not get no mileage from the people them. She not get no traction. What is it? She's not beautiful enough? Tell me, people, how we must know ourselves, you know. Since the Labour Party I talk about white man this and white man that. Look what they're doing. Where is the Michelle Charles?
And Jamaican people love run gaffer and go clean white people shit, so. Because most of we were run come a foreign of a clean white shit. Because we not come here with no qualification if we no nurse, teacher, and something, and even somebody teacher them. I feel if I go clean shit too. And have such, it's a dichotomy. You have a problem with the white man, but no problem with the white woman, and then the black woman is lost in space. I mean, Jamaica people.
Crimea River campaign on social media. May I ask, where the video them there? Everywhere you turn, there is a Crimea River and Vaz campaign because the woman white. As a white woman. One will never do that for a black woman. Oh no, we'll never do that for a black woman. Somehow no sell out and still up on a plantation with that mentality. May I ask you?
They're still in trains,
again,
Carlos. The chain
do you think
come
Michelle
off by them
Charles
foot in her
is
hand yet.
worthy? She's not beautiful enough? Is it because she have an opposite complexion? Is it because you prefer white woman over black woman? Where is the crying for Michelle Charles? Where is the Crimea River Michelle Charles campaign? Boy, this right here, sir, just expose on the hypocrisy on the labor rights. Yeah? Expose on the hypocrisy. When you prefer other people more than Uno. We see it over and over. Anybody can come at Jamaica and do anything to me people them. Get away with anything. They could have come from anywhere in the world. Tell me if a black woman is not that beautiful. Eh? Your black woman not beautiful enough for you to come out, come ball for her. Where is the Crimea River Michelle Charles campaign? May I ask again? Me soon a ball out to your water, pay tears and nose not. All over social media, talking pure fat. When you don't live at Portland, that is a start. Portland is dear to so many of the residents. Them talk about, say them sea and all them things, them fishing village. And that them talk about, them land, where it seems as if some people coming up in there for slice and give away and take away from the people. And the people them are not a fool. The Portland see them livelihood, fishermen, see politicians come in and they can't go Blue Lagoon. Them and them rich oligarch friend come up and they come take away the people them land. But yet, Michelle Charles is not beautiful enough for her to cry for. When a ball for some white woman, or when them take away no land, woman a dance and a hypnotize her way, dance into the land. Dance and a hypnotize you know. Why them a take away no land? And a position themselves on Portland in a white city, it seems. Every dance and another piece of land take away. Wake up, people. All me come to say, isn't Michelle Charles beautiful enough? Isn't she worthy enough? Talk through.
I would ask a further question though, Carlos. Isn't Michelle Charles as useless enough as Anvaz? Because what they're all going about with Anvaz is her uselessness. Because other than being absolutely useless and dunce, there's not much else to Anvaz. So maybe Michelle Charles isn't as useless as Anvaz either.
Good people.
Or only if Michelle Charles buy less KFC. Could be.
Is it because she's of dark complexion? Isn't she? I think she's a very beautiful sister. Michelle Charles, I know you're going to watch this. Let me tell you, Jamaican Carlos, tell you, you're one pretty woman. Yeah, man, you're one pretty woman. Come on, people, some of you guys, some of your female here is going to be very jealous. And you're going to say, Carlos, you don't know when somebody pretty. But come on, the woman is beautiful. And leave it right there. Full stop. So I'm just saying, isn't she beautiful enough? Or are just white people no love? People, let me know in the comment section, because I've been on Michelle Charles' page and I see she take picture with sitting in the background like road and all them things there, just like Anvaz. But I don't see none of my people them, and with no nose not and no yai water, no Crimea River campaign and social media say them vote out the woman and the woman at this and the woman at that. Huh? Let me know what you think in the comment section. My name is Jamaican Carl.
Right. Thanks to Carlos for that piece. Well explained. Let me adjust the social media context to the Crimea River situation. A lot of it rather, it is not real. If you understand how TikTok, where most of the Crimea River is on, if you operate TikTok, you will get those notifications sent to you at time to participate in this trend as well. So a lot of these TikTokers that you see crying me a river, and this is how, because we are so materialized, because we are so money driven, we clog the system with, pardon me, literally fuckery, even when we don't mean it and we're not serious about it. But because it's a trend over TikTok that will generate numbers and views and money, even if the people are not serious about it, they jump on to the trend. Because I see lots of TikTokers who are talking against JLP, who are on the Michelle trend. So don't be misguided by those people on TikTok. When you come from Portland, when you have nothing to do with Portland, that you see going on with this thing. It is, if you operate TikTok, if you have a TikTok platform where things are going for, you know, there's certain things come out where sometimes Facebook do it as well. Them send you the thing and encourage you to participate in that trend as well. To do a video, yes, real sweet. It's a fake thing that is going on. So Uno, don't take it too serious. If you understand how TikTok operates, please do not take it serious. Because why you shouldn't take it serious either, this is not coming from the people of East Portland. This whole, the labor rights in East Portland are disgruntled. We are aware of that. And it's mainly because of KFC and alcohol and nothing else. But the trend you see over social media, it is not a representation of the people of East Portland. So I would encourage you, don't pay much attention to that noise. If you operate TikTok, you will know that it's just because you see, like TikTok algorithm, them, when a trend of anything going on, those who have those major platforms or those very active platforms, you will get a notification from TikTok to do something on that or something another. That is how they operate. So don't take that too serious, because remember, it is not coming from the people of East Portland. Cousin Candy is well gone. It is not coming from the people of East Portland, because if you notice, the people of East Portland as well are outraged by this TikTok viral moment that is going on about this dead horse. Because Anvaz is literally nothing much than a dead horse. We've seen it. We've heard it. The woman cries to water. What else can you expect? Wasn't it her that went to Galilee and lifted up the water in her hands and cried to it? So don't get yourself worked up by these TikTok sensational people who is doing it for money and clout. Trust me, I know nothing reality. Things might fall apart now. Roscoe, potato thief from the public purse, buy gun, give bad man, Dalwymple, Maricia Dalwymple Filbert, a criminal just recently elected by fraud and vote buying and vote coercion. Hold on. Because this, Jamaica, this is intimidation. And I hope Paul Patmore can or will be taking the necessary step to make sure something comes out of this. But while the Jamaica Labour Party wants to quiet us down over social media, talking about a fraudulent election, an election they bought, an election they messed up the voters list, an election they stole and dumped ballot boxes, an election where they prevented Jamaicans from vote, them win. And you're going to your opponent's house as an attorney, Marissa Dalwyn Filbert, a criminal attorney, a thieving attorney, Marissa Dalwyn Filbert. This is the politics of the Jamaica Labour Party. While the same old wingless, beakless junkers of the Jamaica Labour Party wants to quiet all of us over social media. But this former Speaker of the House, an attorney, an MP, is turning up at your opponent's home to intimidate them. So if a fly pitch pan Paul Patmore gate, we know say it's the criminal Marissa Dalwymple Filbert. Send them. Remember Marissa Dalwymple Filbert as somebody just like a Babsy Grange and Chang and Darrell will buy gun, give bad man. Unlike Gillette Holness, we have the police them I use as fair personal gunman. Let us look at Marissa Dalwymple Filbert behavior and tell me if people like these ought not to be shot in the street. This is Paul Patmore's home, you know. It's not a public office. It's not meeting Paul Patmore on the campaign rally. Is this harlot taking up herself with her gangsters to intimidate her opponent? This is the what the other you call it. And then we are going to swear in a parliament to make legislation. But we are so glad that the 6-hour legislation in our parliament, Andrew Holness, is over. The legislation in the dead of night, Andrew Holness, is over. The legislation where you pass without being properly scrutinized by a committee because you own the committees and them just give you a wink and a nod. It's all over. Integrity Commission, morning, evening. You don't have no report on your desk ready. You don't have no report. We don't like report to come out in October, you know. It's like October, the Integrity Commission, the Prime Minister got court. We wouldn't like to see some Integrity Commission report surface. Tap up the screen, TikTok. Tap up the screen, please. He should sue her as well as I think he can go after her for assault, the apprehension of fear. Because this level of intimidation causes fear. And just by that alone is assault at what? Common law. Yes, this is assault at common law. So he should go after her in many ways, lawsuit, as well as, then again, I see him criminal police, them with Andrew Holness and Chang control. We're going to ask to carry out an investigation against Marissa Dalwymple Filbert for assault and Paul Patmore. Trespass in an aggravated sense arose, maybe, but in general, trespass is a civil law. It mainly, all right, you see, like you see, people have a plaque put up on their land and say, trespassers will be prosecuted. That's absolutely absolutely the wrong information, because trespass in itself is civil law. So the sign should be trespassers will be sued, not prosecuted, sued. When the trespass becomes aggravated, then it tips over into the criminal element, as I would deem it to be here in Marissa Dalrymple and her people's behavior. But if it's just coming on your property unauthorized, it's not something that you can really prosecute people for. You can sue them. But the aggravated part to it, he may be able to go after her for criminally. Well, everybody knows that Marissa Dalrymple Filbert is a criminal anyway. This is where the man lives. This is where the man's family resides. This is where the man's children are. And this is why he should be able to go after her for criminal charges, because the apprehension of fear caused by this behavior from Marissa Dalrymple Filbert. But I hope Mr. Pat Moore will be taking legal advice and going after her in whatever way possible he can, because these criminals in the Jamaica Labour Party never ever stop at anything. Based on what, after listening to this woman, it kind of makes sense with what we see happen the other night, where everything, so much things. Abena, how you do? So much things. You're back home safely. That's very good. That's very good. So much things went wrong on Wednesday night. Or so much things went wrong through the entire election cycle from Friday to Wednesday. Who will be able to carry out an investigation? Opal, how are you? But serious, very serious things happen in order to steal the election, to defraud the election. This Prime Minister and the Jamaica Labour Party carried out a heist on the Jamaican people.
Nobody now if you tell me this. I know the JLP hierarchy are shaking in their boots. I know. I am confident of this because guess what? The PNP hierarchy is quiet. And you know what happens when someone is quiet. We're not stupid. We're not weak. We know what happened. And the brown man, he admitted what happened. He spoke about what happened. I heard him on the television. We know what happened. We heard Flo, we heard Digicel saying cable lines were cut. We heard of the glitches. We heard of them. So I know they're messing up their pants. They're not happy. And so they will not come out and celebrate. They will not. God forbid they cannot, because they know what they did and it was plain for.
We need an independent investigation in what really took place on Wednesday night. So many media people in Jamaica got chucked off air on Wednesday night. And after people managed to come back on air, the Prime Minister numbers just soared through the roof. And the Prime Minister win by thousands. It is concerning as to how the few ballot boxes left to be counted carry so much vote by for the Prime Minister. Similarly to the thieving boy, they were him and the mayor brother, Donovan Williams. one whole box. Because the vote will him win by is one whole new box. Them fine. Where was all these votes that Donovan Williams, after losing by 12 votes, turn around, come win by 70 and 90 odd votes? And they don't think it's a concern for us to talk about? Or because you all said you so-called win the election, we shouldn't have any concerns of the many different anomalies that happen over days, from the attack on the security service right up to the attack on the entire population, and expect us to be silenced? Anytime when I carry out the investigation, they have a list of names for going for the people that will assist Floyd Green in parity to buy a vote. Mr. Green, the two young boys, sir, Wednesday morning, one get 100,000 and one get 150,000. Mr. Green, you want me call name, or you want contact who they be? I mean, I hold no secret for no, you know, because you all committed crime against us. We don't have mercy upon nobody, Jamaica. Because family or friends may go call on a name. Family or friends in parity, I'm going to call you all name in public. Who took money from Mr. Green run millions in Southwest St. Elizabeth? Millions in Southwest St. Elizabeth to buy votes. And those of you in parity who took the money from Mr. Green, I go call on a name public. Maybe not tonight, but I go little all on a name in a public. All I have to do is lick me down or sue me. Anyone work first? Anyone work first? Let's listen to Jamal on his view on the election, because sensible people need to talk to these. I don't know what to describe us as a people in Jamaica, because you see, I am upset with the 60% that did not go out and vote, probably even more than I am upset with the 20 or 21% that sold their vote to the Jamaica Labour Party or willingly vote for a corrupt criminal entity. Something wrong with you, Jamaica. You see, until we understand, we become educated in history and civic, and we understand how government operates, what we should get, what we are entitled to, what they should be doing for us, how powerful we are in this whole democratic system, we're always going to be taking liberty of.
Blessed love, everybody. So by the time you would have seen this video, you probably would have heard that Andrew Holness won the general election for 2025. So therefore giving JLP a third term. The people of Jamaica have spoken and they have chosen the best wrong side, as usual. So my opinion on everything overall. First things first, Mark Golden and Mr. Holness were two very worthy opponents and a lot of levels. You understand? They are equally as skilled with words. They're very good wordsmith. They're equally as skilled with props. They're equally as skilled with providing distracting entertainment for the people. And you have to understand, politics is like a courthouse, It's not necessarily the best side window.
So Donovan Williams did extend 2 extra bucks.
Have any of you ever heard of the what's his name? What's his name, man? O.J. Simpson case? We all know that, yeah, but yesterday he was convicted because his lawyers had the best argument. So it's not necessarily who is the best or who is right, is who have the most convincing argument. You understand? So here's the thing now for me, with this whole politics thing. One of the things that I observe and like being the person that I have and having the brain that I am, I can't help to look through situations and think about it in a logical way. It's a gift, but it's also a curse, especially when I live in among so much stupid people. You understand? And it's this. Now, if I'm running a country, remember this is not a sport, where you're dead two football side and when you're done, you just get a temporary gratification and that's it. We're talking about a man that says that he wants to manage a country and its resources and bring the best quality of life to his people. So I think if he's speaking about the policies to move the country forward, I think it should be in a more diplomatic and quiet environment. When I notice the rallies, it's always nice. There's no way anyone in that crowd can hear anything that these people are saying. So majority of the people that voted on election day, I can tell you right now, straight off the bat, if I should sit them down in front of me and start to question them, it's gonna end in them throwing insulting comments at me because they realize that I have them in a corner and they can't tell me the reason why they have voted. Because what happens is a lot of people, they vote because the stupid auntie or the stupid mom or the stupid father or the stupid cousin and somebody stupid in their bloodline was on that champion truck every election, jumping up and down, eating the curry goat and rice, drinking that. So you have now become cultured into saying that I should vote for this party. Not because I heard anything that he said, that because if you ask a lot of them right now, what was the policies? Tell me some of the policies apart from the ones that went viral that either one of these person spoke about on the campaigns and the rallies. They don't know. They don't know. They will know that Andrew Ones said something about the $32,000 because that went viral. They will know that Mark Golding said something about the threshold for PAY because that went viral. But apart from that, them don't know nothing else. And it's not that they're not interested in politics like me. Me not have no interest in it, none at all. They are interested. So how comes you don't know you nothing? What the man is saying, don't a hatty man. Chat God. See? So how comes you don't know you nothing? What the man is saying. You understand what I do? Here's the other thing. Do you notice on the debates how demurred they were, how their demeanor was flawless, how intelligent they spoke? But yesterday when they're at the rallies, them talk like hooligans because you know why? They know that they're addressing hooligans. You get what I deal with? That's just the thing. When they end up on the TV, you see them nice and decent and whatever that. And I tell people all the while, there's two things that Jamaica should always give thanks that I've never had any aspiration to be, and I have no intention of becoming. And that's a criminal or a prime minister. Jamaica should really be thankful that I had no desire to become any of those things, and I have no desire to become any of those things. Because if I had ever become prime minister of Jamaica, I know that hate me bad, because the country that run under some strict discipline when we know the like. Because a lot of you right now do not want any real change for the country because the real change comes with discipline. When I talk about discipline, the real change come with when police stop you and ask you left and right, that couldn't exist. When you could give police no like a thing for left for that couldn't exist. The smallest set of things we can consider crime, where someone get away with, that would name on supper. When you could be stupid, it would be illegal to be stupid. So all them stupid video comments, I think when you come on the internet, come make all the while, when they get lack of feed. Some policy we that implement. Any politician take a dime out of the collection plate or the taxpayers them plate, you get hang up power and cross like what they do Jesus. You will be stripped of your clothes and be given a jaws order. And I'm gonna get 7 soldiers to stand up so. And I'm gonna aim 7 rifles at you. And they are gonna shoot at the same time on public TV. If you're a politician and happy, that's what would have happened to you. So you better give thanks that Jamaica has no intention of becoming anything of that sort. Now let me give my opinion on the man who won the election. Now, I think at some point in your life, you had very good plans to make changes for the country. But I do think that when you went in, something happened. It's either you caved under the pressure or whatever the case might be, but I don't think you are operating to your full potential. I mean, you need to find that, my brother. When you look for Jamaica, you know. You understand me? I say, I pray for you, I pray for you, man, for Jaffe guide, you know. At that time, no problem, you not lead with Jabber, you not lead by yourself. If you not lead with God, you must feel. If you not lead with the Almighty, you have to feel, my brother.
Is it Ladybug say that? Ladybug, I tend to agree with a lot of his views. You know why? I'm of the view that even though I enjoy democracy, I don't believe democracy can save a society like Jamaica. Democracy means that you must walk naked, you must say what you want, you must do what you want. And it's an absolute disaster to a society as undereducated and starved of information as Jamaica. You see, President Chore, he's not in a dictatorship, but he is in a revolution. And a revolution, you cannot, if you're to change your society, if you're to develop your society, it won't work under democracy with a weak, corrupt leader. So it's either we're going to have a strong, fair, and honest leader, or we have to change it to drastic measures. But some of my drastic measures, I would want to have it changed through, especially with the corrupt voting system and vote buying that we have, is imposing mandatory voting on the people of Jamaica. It cannot be, it should not be, it must not be that 20% of the voting populace decide the direction of the country, even less than 20, because we know within that 20%, there's a vast amount that is willing to transact their vote for $5,000. I mean, something that cannot give you 2 nights dinner. That cannot give us 2-night dinner. So I think there's certain drastic changes ought to be made if we come out of this dunce and docile cycle. If we cannot do it through education, then we must do it by social engineering through policies. But the current system that we have is not working. And this is why we end up with the result we ended up with on Wednesday. So there's drastic changes need to be made with our people because, I mean, we know labor right dunce, don't we? Even in Parliament, labor right dunce. How do we expect to come out of such a system with these very people at the helm of everything, every governance agency in the country? So we need drastic measures to actually take us out of what we are into or take us onto a new path, because as it stands, it's not working. Our election system is just not working. And we're going to need drastic changes to do it, because doing it through education as well, it's going to be a long shot. Why is it going to be a long shot? Because, say, mentally, we are tribal. So it won't happen in this or the next generation, probably the next generation. 3 generations from now, we get to do it through education. That's too much a long time for our democracy, quote unquote, to be played with. So if we are to get away from this system, we have to take drastic measures to get out of it. Otherwise, as I always tell you, we're on the way to hell in a handcart, and we must go there comfortably if we don't decide to do the uncomfortable changes. Changes are not always comfortable in the short term. Changes in short term are not always comfortable. You got to be able to look at the long term. But where we have now is something that we're looking at continuing without any benefit or any good results to us, especially since Andrew Holness took away the independence of the Electoral Commission and the Office of the Political Ombudsman. Those two that work together in our election cycle. So we really need faith, because as a people, we're not disciplined enough. As a people, we're not educated enough. As a people, we're not honest with ourselves enough. Just like you see, within that 20% or 21% who gave power to Andrew Holness again, within that 20%, it is full of majority dunce. That 20% is full of majority dunce. And as we can see throughout the whole fiasco of Andrew Holness corruption debacle, they stand behind him fair and square. His corruption, his stealing, his nepotism, his crime against the public purse really does not matter to that 21%. Now, if we have mandatory voting and the entire 100% of eligible voters are voting, then you're likely to have a more honest result, because for them to buy vote at that broad scale, it would have cost them too much money. What we need to do is yank within that 20%, which is still in their vote, we need to yank that away from them and put it into the broader mass, where it's harder for them to buy votes, where we will get a more honest numbers at the poll. Me know, me can't call the word Debbie, always bite up my tongue. I mean, I know even my tongue go drop off tonight, but I don't know when me attack say. But we cannot continue like this, because we are suffering. We are suffering while politicians are being enriched. While politicians sit on a high seat, we are in the gutters. While politicians educate them children abroad out of your taxpayers' money, your children cannot even find bus fare. You can't even find bus fare or lunch. You send your picnic at school. While your children cannot get a job or a future coming out of university, the Prime Minister, before his children get to majority age, are millionaires with multi-million-dollar property development. We have to take, if we take back our country from corrupt, thieving politicians, it's got to be drastic, because what they have done to us, it was drastic measures. A drastic measure demand against the crimes that was committed from Friday to Wednesday in order to steal the election. Those were drastic measures taken against the people of Jamaica. So we're going to have to do something to come out of it, or we're going to have to plan for turning at it for the long term.
You know, have a feel, you understand what I say? But anyhow, I want you to find back the very first moment that you decided, being that you are the man who's going to have the country for the next 5 years. I have to tell you this. I want you to go back and find the sole reason why you wanted to become a politician. What was that purpose? What was that purpose?
Make an answer your suckers and know. Mr. Holness was trained by Edward Siaga, a thief So Andrew's intention was to come in and get rich like Mr. Siaga did and ended up in the 21 family of private sector organization that runs this country. So Andrew Holness never come in, to be honest, because for Andrew Holness come in, he don't do anything honest. You understand? So Andrew Holness never have good intention from day one. A lot of us weren't paying attention to Andrew. Andrew sweet talk with. Andrew Holness is just a man. A man know how to sweet talk people.
Was not for the money at that time. I know that there was that desire to change this country and make it perform to its full potential. And I know somewhere deep down, but within inside of you, that little Andrew is still there, man. Find him back, activate him again, and make the people of Jamaica proud. Because at this point, I have no say, you know. You understand what I say? The indoctrinated people of the country have spoken. And they say it's you. You are the better rank side. You're the best rank side, according to the indoctrinated people of Jamaica. So go forth and make these people proud, please. I have no choice, and I am living now. So when the people of the country speak, you know, whatever decision they make, you know, me have to live with it, you know. You understand? And as I said, it's not if you don't vote, you don't have a say. It's if you're not paying tax, you don't have a say. And I'm very sure I'm paying tax. You understand?
And this very thing breaks the notion of democracy. The whole majority rule, majority carries. What is majority though? Majority of the minority? Because this is what we really have as democracy in Jamaica. Majority of the minority. Because 38% of 100% is minority. And within that majority of 38% that voted, there's a minority of 20 to 21% that steers the direction of the country. This cannot be safe for all of us, can it? And then we cannot turn around to complain, Jamaica, when we give the power in our country to 20% of the populace, and then we turn around and talk, so we in a democracy? No. For years, we've been running a minority government. For years, we've been running under a minority government. We're only being directed by 20% or so of the population. And we have to change that. Mr. Wayne, I think it's higher than that. And a 38 point something they say, 38 point something they say voting at this election, and 2020 it was 38%, isn't it? So we're still in any way being led by a minority government. So if we need to hold them to account, one of the ways to do it is at the poll. When we send ABR, welcome sis. When we send a signal to the government, because why is it that they do not care? 60% of us couldn't, 39.5%, so only 1.5% it raised by, because 2020 was 38%, wasn't it? Or 38.5, I think then. So now we only went up by 1% or 1.5%, but it's still within that 20% or so, 20 odd percent is steering the country. It is dangerous. Now, when say let's level it off at 40%. When 40% of us participate in an election, the message it sends to government is that only less than half of the country really gives a toss. So we don't have to bother too much, because within this 40%, we have a 20% and the other few are the opposition. They alone cannot shout us down, whether be they want to demonstrate or whatever they want to do. But when you send a message to the government and 80, 90, 100% of us turn out to the poll, government sits up. Because what message that sends to government is that, wow, there's a lot of them that are engaged. Too much people are paying attention. But for them right now, not much of us is paying any attention. And they know that the minority of tribals that are engaging in the system, you can control that 20% and that 18 or 19 or whatever percent. You don't have to really pay any attention to them because their noise is not loud enough. Jamaica people, we've got work to do. We've got work to do. If we need change, it will not come from our politicians. Change does come from politicians, but with our corrupt politicians, the change are always for the worse. Now, if we want change for the better, we've got to choose honest leaders. Or if we're not choosing honest leaders, us as a people have to do it ourselves. We have to be more engaged in the system. We cannot continue to leave election to vote sellers, vote buyers, and those of the tribalists who vote for Labour or PNP, even if Labour or PNP have cut them throat. That's why our country not progressing. And to top that off, when we give them power, we don't put them to work. We don't pay attention to them. We don't hold them to account. All we do, we sit down and wait for them to come promise we and fool we again the next 4 or 5 years. You see the danger, you see how we abuse ourselves? It's not our politician alone that abuse we, you know. We are a part of this abuse, Jamaica people. We are being more abusive to politicians that tie rope around we, you know. They only lead by our belly, Jamaica. Them not have rope on with hand, foot, and our neck. They are leading us with our belly. And that's a disgraceful thing on the international scene, Jamaica people. $5,000 for democratic participation. Participatory democracy only value 5,000 Jamaican dollars. And until we say we're in a danger, this is what I'm telling you. It's not hard for us to go into dictatorship. We don't have no pushback in our way. We don't have nothing but we. Anybody can take food lead with. We belly longer than we hand. Jamaica people, we need to wake up. Because we're teaching this docile tribalry to younger and younger generation, which is going to be harder to break out of this deadly cycle of taking us for a ride every 5 or 4 years. When I'm not tired, me when I living there for 20 odd years, tired. I want to seem to want to go deeper and deeper into this mess, what we call our political system in Jamaica. It's not working. And that's why Andrew Holness couldn't thief the election in a plain sight. That's why Andrew Holness could have turned up in front of the camera, them with the open phone turn on him and corrupt the election, go disturb polling station. That's why Juliet couldn't turn up a entire division for about 4 or 5 times with police and barriers. Talking alone won't get us out of this shit. If you step in a shit and you say, ooh, look on the shit on my foot, it's never going to clean off. You have to take active step to clean the shit off of your foot. Our foot is in shit at the moment, regardless if you want to believe it or not. We're shit in our foot. We're foot rather in our shit, and we're going to have to physically clean it off. It don't make no sense we continue like this and complain and complain and complain. Jamaica people don't even have the spirit in them to demonstrate anymore. Where fear has taken over. The minute you invite fear into your life, you stop living. That's why Jamaica people ain't living anymore. There was a time where we show our forces and show our strength. We become lovers of donut and KFC. Jamaica people, donut and KFC, you know. Remember when we line up and take the vaccine for it? Yes, on the same one. We line up and take the chicken where they give on the democracy. And on the same one, they line up and take the donut for the poison. Jesus Christ, Jamaica, on no shame. The world is watching, you know. And look at when JBC and Andrea and nobody never pay attention to them round corner there, so. The world, Jamaica, have their eyes on you for everything. Jamaica is one of the most popular countries over TikTok because we're a bunch of assholes, if you want to say that, on TikTok. We're known for assholism, Jamaican people. We need to wake up. Jesus Christ, I'm tired of this sleeping. And the more we slap you, the more no just more. It is depressing. It is depressing that for another 5 years. 5 more years. We're at this again. When we have plan to take a little break. 5 more years at this again. We cannot continue like this. We have to get ourselves out of it. Politicians aren't going to take us out of it. Our problem is because of politicians. Just like how the world's problem is because of Britain. All of our problem is caused by our politicians. The corruption and all the other crime that comes under the umbrella of corruption is caused by our politicians. And we call them most honorable. Rather, we call them whores, murderers, thieves, and prostitutes. We call them the most and honorable people. And me then call like a piece of shit. We are our worst enemy, my people of Jamaica. We are our worst enemy. Our politicians love us, you know. Not for real, though, I may add quickly. They love us because we're fools. They love us because we make them into millionaire in 4 years. Sometimes I want to choke sun in a summer eye. Our politicians love that we're stupid. They love that we're even duncer than Anvars, if you ask me. Because we make them millionaire in 4 years. You don't need more than 4 years in our current politics to become a millionaire. All you need is 4 years, 4 dege year. And if you're Andrew Holness's sons, you don't have to even go into politics. Because Andrew Holness know for him, boy, them Dunstaka and Vaz and George Wright, you know. So he make sure him fix them so they don't have to come in a politics. They don't have to come. So him fix them because he knows if they come, them are go do worse than Anvaz and George Wright if they don't pick up stool throughout away. Jamaica people, we need to start look after ourselves now. Since the days of Norman Washington Manley and Buster Clark, who married to a man Anton Mantee, we have been served up with nothing but contempt. We have been served up with nothing but contempt. Barring Michael Manley, the whole of them walk, most of them walk were rich. And one and two of them never walk were rich out of the public purse. We're still waiting for the roads, the water, the lights. Our drains and gullies have been clogged. Our infrastructure has been broken down. The Prime Minister saying have jobs everywhere. Me don't know what they do, you know, because me campaign to it in a Southwest St. Elizabeth. Throughout my constituency, me campaign to the job. I was speaking to one of my cousins this morning, and she said to me, my cousin is a comrade as well, I know why Wholeness won the election. Because she said, people are hungry. She said, people are hungry. When you come from deep rural Jamaica, you know what hunger is. When you come from a part of Jamaica where you just get up and look like a conk dog and wait for sundown and wait for sunrise, and there's nothing more to life than that. She said, I understand why those people took the 5,000, the 10,000, the 15,000, because them have many different prices. The little careless boy, them were just one rum and boom, them are the 5,000 and 6,000. Some of the woman them get 10,000. Then so some of the bad man them and the scammer them get 15 and 30,000. Where are we going, Jamaica? Are we going back into slavery? Are we going back on the plantation? Or are we moving forward and upwards? Not with how it looked though. When it comes to forward and upward, you know, they're nowhere near way. So I said to her, but then again, yes, me know they're hungry. And when you rub butter puss mouth, obviously puss a go lick them mouth. But if the puss can go find a lizard name and wait, because when you sell your vote for $5,000 because you're hungry, you're going to be hungry for another 5 years after you sold your vote today for $5,000. But because to say Jamaica people can't look further than them nose. That's the furthest they can see. The furthest Jamaica people can see, majority of them, not generalizing, all. The furthest most Jamaican can see is their nose. They cannot see any further. Me don't know what's going to become of us. The direction we're on is a devastating one. Is one that's not going to benefit us short term. Neither will it benefit us long term. Because where we're going now is over the cliff. No, the minimum wage, and low unemployment. Don't know how that works. All of us are tied to the American economy. Are you aware that with Donald Trump tariff war, the American economy is also heading over the cliff? Given that everybody, or most economy, is tied to the American dollars, are you aware that America going over the cliff, a lot of economies will also be going over the cliff with America? Jamaica will be one of them. Do you think an economy going over the cliff, an economy that has been flat, it's neither growing nor decreasing, do you think that economy will be able, when going over the cliff, to provide you that minimum wage that they promised you? Or that minimum wage that they spoke about, which the government did no feasibility on? A minimum wage which would likely to lower government revenue, will raise the unemployment rate because employers will have to lay off some people because they now can't pay so much people. And a minimum wage that could prevent small and medium businesses from growing, because it was nothing that the Prime Minister thought of. It was just to pull a quick wool over your eye, because the Prime Minister knows it. We're belly people. We play belly politics. We don't name wood bark and leaf like the Chinese, and then becomes a superpower that is out to topple America. When the Chinese were eating leaves and barks, they were eating it with an intention to become powerful, more powerful than America one day. Aren't they there now? Within 30, 40 years? How long have we been fucking independence? We've just celebrated, 63 years of disaster, of backwardsness, of under-education, under-development. The little, the little bit of industry just popped down, broke down, or move away. Creating jobs in the tourism sector are not jobs. COVID shows us that. COVID shows us that jobs within the tourism sector is nothing secured. Yes, it's revenue, it's good revenue for the country. Now, given our tourism industry, we shouldn't be importing food such as grown provision. I remember when Southwest St. Elizabeth used to supply the West End and North Coast with grown provision. You're there, Black River, you see vans after vans after vans going with melon, tomato, scale, all of them little accoutrement there, where hotel pan the West End and the North Coast would need. Cut out of fashion. Cut out of fashion to give James Robertson license to make himself millionaire over out of Bill Gates fertilizer, GMO foods. That's why we're not healthy anymore. Because when we did eat from Jamaica grown, we was much more healthier. Now we're eating nice foreign things, them in packages and plastics. Look at us now. Coupled with that, or healthcare. When they give you the bad rice and the bad potato and the chicken with the whole heap of pills and bacteria, and we get sick. We just go in the hospital for dead, because we're not going to the hospital to get treatment, or get looked after. If you come from Black River, you would know that, or if you come from Southwest St. Elizabeth, or if you come from St. Elizabeth, where one Dege hospital we have, you would know it's an abattoir. It's a killing field. But you see, until we show politicians, so we value something, we want something, we want better for our children, we want our society to run better, we want law enforcement in our country to be more honorable, We want our schools to be developed. We want our healthcare to have all the proper diagnostics. We want our road them fixed. Land of wood and water, we want water in our pipe rather than black tank on our houses. If we don't get up and do for ourselves, Jamaica, as Granny would have said, hell shall be with doom. We are heading over the cliff. Robert Brown, welcome. We are heading over the cliff, Jamaica. Because the American economy about to go into a recession or inflation where they mix it together and call it stagflation. It's not going to be good for Jamaica. Wholeness knows something coming down the road and he may jump ship left to get somebody else. But make me sure that way to say you like a work for do. Make me sure that way to say, bear with me there. I need to play this video from Lesonique Reed. That way to have work to do. Even nature, I speak out.
Autofocus glasses from Germany, designed to change the way you see.
Yes, my people.
Even nature is angry that the Jamaica Labour Party has held us to ransom for another 5 years. The Jamaica Labour Party has stolen the people's democracy. The Jamaica Labour Party has maintained power by deception and corruption. Even nature is annoyed with them. Look at Dalrymple work on our first day, re-elected as the potato thief. Those of you who vote for piece of Dalrymple roast cow, me know that the piece of roast cow, even if we don't put it down for Sunday dinner today, the roast cow can't pass today. South Chilani people. The piece of roast cow want to sell on a future on the children, them future for South Chilani people. Me know say by a man and shit it out. Because if we not get it, whoever get it, if they never near me already, we not save it for a Sunday dinner. So whoever get piece of Dalrymple roast cow, today was the last of it. But see Dalrymple have work, you do.
We are currently in New Road, Warsop, Chilani. Okay, so if you're traveling on the main road, please be advised to drive at the Warsop outside road to John Gaddy and go through the bypass and drop topside. Further on topside, Mooney there, so yeah, just take the bypass on the outside, Warsop outside, all right? So this is a current situation in New Road. We have a landslide right here.
And this happened yesterday. This landslide happened yesterday. But up until this morning, there was nothing done to it as to clearing it. While the government still operates, Andrew Holness, who heads the National Work Agency, which would have the responsibility, or local government, it's their duty to sort things out.
As you can see, the road, the whole main road is blocked, as you can see currently.
Welcome, Barry. Welcome, my Fulani friend. Welcome, Nigeria. Mr.
So if I do this retaining wall, that house, the mud would have slid over that house, as you can see. All right. So I look if they have this retaining wall right here. Or maybe this person lost their house as well.
Massive disaster.
Motorists, please advise drive at the outside road, Warsop outside road. Run to John Gaddy, and use that bypass. If you're traveling this way to Alberton, okay? If you're traveling from Troy to Alberton, just take the bypass at outside Warsop, that road, to the John Gaddy road, all right? Yeah. I got to take out, go down further here. Whoa. So, see somebody might come down on the people house here. As you can see, them do look a clean up. As you can see, the mud come all the way down here. See it? Crazy landfall, people, see? Because you can see the impression company late people environment, as you can see. We heard that yesterday evening it happened. Yesterday evening it happened. That's what we heard. All right. Banana root them couldn't well enough.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there a landslide somewhere in St. Andrew just after the election as well? Wasn't there?
Where? As you can see, a banana root that whole style, but it couldn't manage it no more. Oh. So people all go buy them fried dumpling up and Moody, them fried dumpling and chicken and food. Breakfast, 9 man up and Moody. Remember, take the John Gaddy road. Run at the bypass, if you now go up and Moody, go buy dumpling. Nice Sunday morning, yeah. Remember to drive around at John Gaddy road?
This is another F with Jamaica people again. Modern Jamaicans have become so lazy that nobody wants to cook anymore. I mean, Sunday man I not go buy dumpling. I mean, every Jamaican yard you know pass on Sunday morning, we couldn't afford dumpling. Them fry them dumpling. Buy dumpling, Jamaica people, buy fried dumpling. Well, I know fast so now I got walk. Most of them will buy the dumpling and sit down on yard, on the phone, on TikTok. I see when we see people from party, I send people go buy KFC, or I send people go buy food at restaurant. And the nonsense of it, you're using $1,000 Jamaican dollar to buy a box food for one person, mind you. Which if you know how to knot and tie and cut up money, you can cook a meal for a family. And you're so selfish, so lazy and so selfish that you take up $1,500 buy one box food when you could have get an old chicken out of it. You could have get 2 pounds of rice and the little trinkets them with to make up things together. That is laziness and selfishness. And then not talk about hard life. And we have to name rice and tin mackerel in a foreign in order to pluck out where money sent Congo and to take shame out of it. Watch where on Jamaica people will vote for poverty. Watch where on.
Run on the outside. Wars up outside road, because you have a lot of outside in Chilani here. So it would have been wars up outside, okay? Drive on that bypass if you're going Modi or if you're going to Alberton. All right, that is it. See which part the landfall start from, see there? All right. Well, that house, them are going to do something about the massacre. It's so close by.
This school year. Know they made it to school. And practice. And back home with Life 360.
Wow, what you're seeing right now is an ultra-realistic AI robotic dog
allow this
crafted by
advert
master
to
engineers
pass,
in
right?
Germany. From its lifelike
Jamaica people, especially Uno, will live especially in a hilly areas or wherever. Uno need to plant trees in our environment and around on a yard. Ackee tree, mango tree, coconut tree, and all of them something there. Those things help to prevent land slippage. Those things can help to prevent or delay land slippage or make land slippage less dangerous. We don't have the country too bare. The whole heap of tree where we grew up constantly don't exist anymore because nobody is replenishing them.
Nancy. I will live on that. I will live on that. Nancy.
Stop up screaming, people. I would have to stop up. And this young man, he need a baby, yeah? He take care of a baby good. Yeah, man. So chill and income, and he need a baby. Any single female can teach that. We need to take a hard work, you know.
So the potato thief woman have a lot to do. And we hope they can get to work because children are going to school in the morning and them are going to need the road to use. To respond to Colleen James' question. So are the school bus up and ready for route tomorrow? Let's see how many children will have lunch and bus fare. Now, we wait with bated breath to see if the government carry out its dangerous plan, which they intended to do. Because I think I see somewhere on social media where one lists the school bus route out there. But I am telling you, people of Jamaica, it will be disastrous. It will be disastrous. This rural school bus system is signed with your children's blood on it. Because everybody in power and authority has looked aside from all the security concerns raised by all of us. And it certainly will create problems because we have seen them going around the country. We've seen the havoc they've already created. It is my firm belief that our children in the rural community in Jamaica are being placed in extreme danger at the moment. And I would encourage people of Jamaica to not put your children on those buses. I know it is hard. I know a lot of people can't find the bus fare. But I'd rather have my child not going to school than my child coming home dead or not coming home at all or coming home weeks later in a casket. I'd really rather have that. So it's down to you, parent of Jamaica, to make a decision in the interests of your children. But would everybody answer to the lunch, Colleen? Me wouldn't even bother answer to the lunch because like how they don't have PNP for Bantaya now with policy, them are going to just go full force ahead with their usual nonsense. we have not seen from Andrew Holness where he has kept to the promises of 2 manifesto. I have absolutely no confidence that Andrew Holness will also do anything to make sure he deliver on what was not a manifesto. It was just a go along to get along. So I don't see where the Prime Minister is going to fulfill, because he has promised us twice and has not done so, and now presenting us a go along to get along. I have no hope. Wayne, that is what they vote for. That's true. Is really what they vote for. But as I said, God help us, because though, especially those within the tribal mindset, they cannot see anything outside of what the Prime Minister says. They cannot see any of the issues or concern that we raise, because we only raise them because we are bad mind, because we are PNP, and we are everything but Jamaicans. But we're everything but concerned Jamaicans. But let's see where it goes. Wanna have any questions for me before me go? At 2 hours we there no, so me not do show for more than an hour. And we there 2 hours. What a long show. Hey. Do you have any questions for me before I go? Because to say, every day my heart grieve when me see how we are respected for nothing anymore. Do you remember when the teachers were promised 100% increase? I don't remember that per se, Janice, but remember the Prime Minister gave them an increase just days before election. The problem is, will they get it? Is it not going to be the same wage negotiation war that will not get anywhere? Let's see if those who voted for the minimum wage rather than the tax break, if they will really get it. And getting it spread over a 5-year period, don't you think you're going to feel it as hard as you're feeling it now with inflation? When the Prime Minister may raise it by 1,000 next year, 1,000 the other year, and then he wait until 2029, him give you a big raise to fool you for the 2030 general election. And to the Integrity Commission, before I go, you know how nothing on your desk? So let me start to differ from the room. It's the first I ever seen an election and the people them so quiet. I don't even hear the press. They're quiet for several things. They're quiet for several things. It was a massive fraud that was carried out on the people. So that is one of the issue why they are so quiet, because so much different anomalies popped up throughout this whole general election. The attack started on the security services. That's where the attack started on them, as well as Andrew Holness, Juliet Holness carried out some plain violation in sight. MPs, JLP MPs across the country, more and more were realizing how brazen they were with their vote buying in public. So there are many things for them to concern about. Now, when it comes to the dynamic of Parliament, when Parliament is reopened, that's a massive problem for them, because what happens here now, they will lose control. Andrew Holness, as the family, will lose control of the head of the legislature. He will still have it within the party, but like he takes it out of the party and into the family, where he heads the executive, his wife heads the legislature. His wife cannot head the legislature anymore. So that's a problem for them, because things in Parliament will come back to a balance. It's no longer Juliet Holness's direction. Now, if the PNP don't listen to us, when they're going to have big war, because the same game that was played and Richard Azan, I think the People's National Party should deploy that same political tactics when these Integrity Commission reports surface. I would also agree with Carlos that they do not attend the swearing in of Parliament based on we did not have a fair election. All of these things are going to make Andrew Holness's 5 years much troubling and much weaker. So they are in massive problem. Say, for instance, Integrity report come out and him have to dash people under the bus. He may have a by-election where he can't win, and it will weaken him. His court case is coming up next month. He at a weaker stage now. Him probably wish he had it when he was in the stronger Alibaba and the rest of thieves. But 14 of his thieves have been diminished. 14 to 15 of his thieves have been diminished. That's a massive problem for him. So they know that the joyride that they had the last 5 years, it's not quite much the joyride that is coming up. Then another thing, Andrew Holness still remain in Parliament with a plethora of dunce, where you have the PNP coming in with some educated titans, people who will know what they are talking about, as opposed to Dr. Tufton, who don't know anything about health, where he's going to have a face-off with Dr. Dawes, with Dr. Campbell there as a medical doctor to back him up. You have Isaac Buchanan to floor Marlene Miller, who fought and Delroy Chuck. You have a Damian Crawford to floor Dana Dixon. The slaughter will continue from Julian Robinson against Favour Williams. As you see, the Chamber of, not the Chamber of Commerce, the Gleaner is saying that the committees for scrutinizing the legislative framework ought to be given back to the People's National Party. Now, Andrew Holness' joyride of waking up out of his sleep and thinking up a legislation and coming to Parliament with it and have it passed under 8 hours, that's done with it. Ketep, zilch, nil point, nada. He has to now go through the proper legislative process. So the draconian Andrew Holness that we saw for the last 5 years will be a much more watered down version when Parliament's reopened. No matter how you see them jump and shout and toot and hoot, it's going to be a much watered down power and noise coming from Andrew Holness. And now the dunce them go, poor Favour, Lord have his mercy. Poor Favour Williams. When I pray for her, she better call in sick. Given Andrew Holness's government is going to continue under a shroud of corruption and scandal, money scandal, illicit humochi. It's not going to be an easy ride. This is not 14 PNP anymore. They have raised the bar by 100%. And the Jamaica Labour Party is very, very worried. And we out here will be drawing them continuously to the proverbial mud, because mud is what the Jamaica Labour Party is. I want to thank you all for being here tonight on Global TV. Lovely to have your support. If you're new to the channel, please give us a subscription and a follow, so when we go live, you will get our notification. Thank you all very much. And do join us back tomorrow for your At a Glance program. Sometimes I think I want to change the name of the morning program to Global Vantage rather than At a Glance. What do you think? We all know Andrew lost his seat. Oh, we have not dealt with Paul. But we're 100% behind Mr. What's name again? Buchanan also. We're 100%. And not only that he should challenge his seat, I think the People's National Party should raise a broad challenge. Listen to the people, Mark Golden. You promised to be a listening government. You're still in opposition. We want you to be a listening opposition. The broader People's National Party ought to seek legal redress, because going on what Cathy has said, the Representation of the People's Act were violated by the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, and we cannot let Gaspol Brown literally fucked up 2 elections, the local government election of last year and our election just gone, in order to please Andrew Holness. And we just let it slide. We're going to hold them to account through eternity. And we're expecting the People's National Party to pull out every stop that they have to make sure those who stole our democracy, those who commit crime, those who bought and sold our participation, is held to account. Thank you for being here. Good night from Global TV. Please make sure you join us right back here tomorrow morning. Thank you and good night.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it pick a bad feeling to all wicked men. That's a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make God what I seen him. Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. I sell it out, I sell out Babylon. Big man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Big man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta. I sell out, I sell out Babylon. Yes, stop on the Friday. You might show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing, man, show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one, big man show and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man show and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man show and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.